Hey everyone, I'm here with President Beilock, Dartmouth's 19th president and first ever female president elected. Welcome, President Beilock.
Oh, it's great to be here.
It's amazing. This past year for me has been a wild ride, and I've created a lot of social media content that some of you may have seen, focusing around Dartmouth culture and really what makes Dartmouth special, at least from my eyes. And so I'd love to ask you, President Beilock, what makes Dartmouth special from your eyes?
Yeah, well, I've been following your social media and it's been wonderful to see. And really, when it comes down to it, I think it's the sense of community. People here really take care of one another, and that doesn't mean they don't push each other. They ask hard questions, they voice different opinions, but at the end of the day, there's a sense of trust and community that I haven't seen anywhere else.
Yeah. And we see this through a lot of the initiatives you've done, from Dartmouth Dialogues to the climate initiatives. I guess my question to you is, what is your favorite part of being president at Dartmouth?
I actually love interactions like this. Every week I have office hours at Collis, and it's really fun to talk to students. And students come to do everything from pick my brain about cognitive science and my research career to being president, to tell me that they disagree with some of the things I've done. And there were some of the best conversations.
That's great. I really appreciate the open communication that you have, especially with people who disagree with you. I think that's a huge part of your initiative here at Dartmouth. And diving a bit deeper into that, so for me, I've been grateful enough to be able to do a thesis in the QSS department on battery storage and energy. That's because I'm very passionate about solving the climate crisis. I think climate change is an existential threat facing the US today and the world. And so my question to you is, what do you think is one of the biggest problems facing the world today?
Yeah, I mean, I do believe that we have to figure out the energy transition, and I'm counting on you and your fellow Dartmouth graduates to do that, and also our faculty and staff. But one thing that I worry a lot about is polarization and the inability of folks in the US and across the world to talk to each other. And I think our democracies depend on the ability to communicate and talk and have a shared knowledge of what truth is and what facts are. And so a lot of what we're doing at Dartmouth is aimed at helping students build the muscles to have those tough conversations and also understand how they assess information, how factual it is, and what they do with it.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, this is a huge problem in the US, but Dartmouth is addressing that through a lot of ways, specifically through the Rockefeller Center and a lot of the programs we put on, inviting a lot of different politicians and people to talk about their points of view. Now, that's like the social science side of things. I'm also a computer science major. I've been studying data systems and artificial intelligence recently. Now, with the rise of AI, how has this kind of ground layer of truth shifted in your eyes, and how do you think it will continue to evolve in the future?
Well, as I think you know, and I say it a lot, the AI was really born here at Dartmouth in a conference in 1956. And I think it gives us a responsibility to talk about what's next, how we continue to develop great humans, and also how we understand what truth is. And I'm reminded of the work of Professor Hani Farid, who is actually coming back to Dartmouth from Berkeley. He's a computer scientist, and his whole research program is based on understanding deep fakes and understanding how AI generated content impacts the world that we live in. And he talks about it as a threat to democracy when we don't know what's true and what's not. And I think a lot of our faculty across disciplines are asking those questions about misinformation. And Dartmouth is a place that can really help push our ideas forward so we understand how to verify the information we're getting, who it's coming from, the source, and that can help us make decisions about what that information means to us. It goes back to talking a lot about having students learn how to think rather than what to think.
I think that's a critical point, the how to think versus what to think. I mean, again, we are a liberal arts institution. I have so many peers, even in the QSS department, pursuing so many different theses, such as ones on artificial intelligence and even deepfakes. And so this idea of higher education being a place to learn how to think is crucial. And I think it's something that's also becoming more polarized today, right? With the current Trump administration kind of cracking down on higher education, I'm wondering, what do you think the role of higher education is in the United States? And more specifically, what do you think Dartmouth's role in the higher education ecosystem is?
Yeah, I've talked a lot about this. I think our goal is not to be a political football. We have to define our mission. And I think we haven't always been clear about that our goal is to educate the next generation, look for knowledge and truth. And that is our mission. And when we can define that, that's how people build trust in what we do. If they think that we are producing particular results to conform to a particular idea or ideology, or producing students who only think in one way, then the American people stop trusting what we do. And so our goal as an education institution is to be the ones defining our value, not based on what any current government thinks, but what we think the value of the product we produce is. And if we can do that well, that's where trust comes back. Trust in science, trust in people, trust in the power of what I think is such a special part of our country, which is our higher education.
Yeah, 100%. And as someone who has gone through it, I've seen all of this in action on Dartmouth's campus and beyond. And from you, President, you've worked at other universities before, specifically before this in New York City at Barnard College. With the current Knicks in the NBA Finals and going through this, I'm sure there's a lot of New York representation in your heart. I'm wondering, what brought you here to the woods after being in the city for so long?
Yeah, well, I've worked at several different institutions. I was a faculty member and then administrator at the University of Chicago, then at Barnard and Columbia, and now at Dartmouth. And one of the reasons I really was excited about Dartmouth is because I thought it was a special kind of education. There's not many institutions that are focused on being the best undergraduate education within a world-class university, and that have a history of having different people with different views pushing at each other. And I think it's now more important than ever to be a model for how higher education can work. And I think we're doing that here at Dartmouth.
Yeah, amazing. And one of the things I've realized after, doing my thesis and attending an honors dinner at your lovely house on campus is that everyone, including the faculty and yourself, are doing, deep dive research into a particular topic. You, for example, are working on how athletes, students, how everyone performs under stress, right?
Yeah.
And given your research and Dartmouth being, it is a stressful environment and life in general is a very stressful place, I'd love to know, what is your advice to the incoming Dartmouth students, current Dartmouth students, and even soon-to-be graduates like myself going into the real world?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. And I think stress is a part of everyday life, and we're certainly going to have lots and ups and downs. I would say one goal is to, as you're getting ready for something important, try and recreate the situation, practice under the conditions you're going to perform under, because if you can get used to it, then it's not as stressful to begin with. And I would say, don't be afraid to fail. It's how we get better. And it's how we push the boundaries of what we think we can do and what others think we can do.
Yeah, and I mean, my journey with social media has been doing just that, putting myself out there, failing time and time again, but trying to improve bit by bit after every iteration. Is there a particular example in your time in president in which you've applied your research learnings to an event coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I talk a lot at commencement. I'll be talking at commencement next week.
For
So
that.
I usually practice with all my team watching me to get ready.
Really?
Because I want to have those feelings of jitters when I'm practicing.
Yeah.
And it's an important day for so many of us. And so I try and prepare the best I can.
Amazing. Yeah. And with the last minute, I'd love to ask some fun rapid fire questions, just like 1 to 2 word answers. If you want to elaborate, you can. We'll start with, very quickly, what is your favorite season?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if this is the most popular answer, but I will say winter. I love skiing and I love being at the skiway.
Amazing. And this falls into, what's your favorite outdoor activity here at Dartmouth?
Definitely skiing.
Skiing as well. Yeah. And what is your favorite place on campus?
Yeah, everyone asks me that. And I think it's not one place, but I love at the end of the day walking home. I live on Frat Row, which is very unique. And I love walking home through all the students down Frat Row, seeing everyone kind of having social lives, really not just being intense students, but being people who think outside the classroom as well.
Yeah. And another question is, the city or nature? It's a tough one.
I love being in the woods.
Let's go. Well, that's time for us. I really appreciate you taking the time to interview with me, President Beilock. It's been a pleasure over these past 4 years, and I'm sure everyone at Dartmouth who've come before me and are going to come after me can appreciate what a special place this is.
Yeah, and congratulations, and I look forward to shaking your hand on Sunday.
Great. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you.
All right. Great.
Good?
Yeah. think
That was
great.
good. You did a really good job.
Thank you.